What better way to kick off 2024 than to provide you with the most important rule changes that are now in effect? Now, the 2024 rule changes are not nearly as impactful as it was the last couple of years, but still, there are a couple of items that are worth knowing. In today's video, I'm going to share the top 5 significant rule changes for 2024. Be sure to stay tuned to the end because I think that this last one that I'm going to share is awesome and I hope it becomes a lot more popular. And if you guys are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe because we provide weekly tips to help you out on your pickleball journey. Now let's get right into it. So the first rule we're talking about, and I'm going to call it the Fix It First referee. This references Rule 4B9, and this is really going to be helpful for all of you out there who are forgetful. You know who you are. But basically what it says is the referee will now correct any player that is in the incorrect server position, the incorrect receiver, or really any player position error. And so this is going to be huge for those of you who are messing up the score in the wrong spot, or maybe a stack and you get confused. The referee will be required to fix it. All right, the second rule is the catch or carry rule. This references Rule 7L. And basically what this says is that at any point you cannot catch or carry the ball with your paddle. So you can't take the paddle, have the ball on it, and carry it. Now what this has changed is that previously the ref had to determine whether this was deliberate or not. So you can see the controversy there. It could sometimes be tough to tell. And so they've just simplified this and said, if it's a carry, that's illegal. Now this is different from the double hit rule, which the double hit rule is still allowed. And that, the way they determine that is if it's one continuous motion. You can't take the ball, catch it, bounce it up, hit it, and that be considered a legal double hit. It does have to be one continuous motion for the double hit to be considered legal. All right, rule number 3 has happened to me a number of times, and it's called the draping net rule. You're probably wondering, what is this rule? Basically, when the ball hits the top of the net, rolls over, bounces and hits the net below before it hits the ground, so it's hitting the net, or in some cases if there's a bar, it's hitting that bar, and that's impacting the bounce since it's not hitting the court. Now previously, it was up to the referee to determine whether this point would be replayed and if that bounce impacted the outcome of the point. But now, in summary, it's automatically replayed. So if the ball hits the net tape, hit something below, you replay the point. All right, rule number 4 is the ball crack replay rule. Now this is referenced in Rule 11E in the rule book. And basically what it says is that if the ball cracks during the point, you potentially replay the point. Now I say potentially because if it cracks, all players must agree that the cracked ball impacted the outcome of the point. Now I could see this being a little controversial because the team that won the point might not want to replay it and they might say it didn't impact, and the team that lost the point, of course they're going to say the crack impacted the outcome of the point. So that could be a little controversial. Now, in addition to the crack ball, this rule specifies that it has to be cracked. If it's deformed, degraded, or soft in any way, this does not, the point does not get replayed under this circumstance. We are to the 5th and final rule change that we are covering today, and this is the addition of skinny singles, or what the rule book refers to as mini singles, section 12.0. And I'm personally excited for this one because really interested and curious to see how it plays out. Now, to take a step back, basically the skinny singles, what they're doing is they're saying you're playing one-on-one half court. They'll draw a line from the net to the non-volley zone, so you have the boundary, then you play out the point. Now, the reason I'm excited for this one is because I think there's probably a lot of interest in the kind of solo, independent, single style play, but there's not as much interest in covering that full court. I think it's truly a grind, even coming from tennis. When you got a big court and you move to pickleball and the court's smaller, you quickly find that it's actually a lot of space to cover and is quite the grind. So I think it's appealing to players. The challenge, I think, is going to be at the tournament level, even though it's now an approved format, to add one more format to men's, mixed, women's, singles, I foresee that being a challenge. So we just covered 5 of the top rule changes in 2024. I'm curious your thoughts, so let us know in the comments below. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe and like button, and stay tuned for our next videos. Before you guys go, be sure to check out our newsletter that we recently launched. I won't tell you all about it, you have to go and check it out to see for yourself. We've got the link for the newsletter in the description below.